Welcome, everybody, back to episode 3 of True NFL. I'm Frankie J, and with me to the right of me is T.O. T.O., what a week last week in NFL football. Week 3, what a week. A lot of upsets, few injuries we'll go over here in a moment. How was your week? What did you think of the games last week, T.O.?
I enjoyed them. Enjoyed the games. This week, not so much. Doesn't look like we're going to have a lot of interesting matchups, but we'll talk about that later on. But as for last week's games, pretty good. Bills dominated like we thought they would. I don't know. Tampa Bay coming down to the last minute again. It was a good week. Good week. KC won. We knew they would, though. Well, you said you thought the Giants would pull that one out, but no, not a chance. Not on Sunday Night Football. Kansas City. Well, we talked about it. There's no way the league's going to let them lose. Not that game.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Well, clearly they didn't. Scatterboo looked good though in that game.
Oh, for the Giants. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go over this week's injuries going into week 4? There's a few of them. A real big one. One of your favorite players, CeeDee Lamb. Talk about that. Your boy CeeDee Lamb broke his ankle in 15 different spots.
Sure looked like he did, and he said he can come back out and play. Phenomenal. I think he hasn't even been ruled out yet, but clearly we're not expecting him to play after what we've seen there, but he hasn't officially been ruled out as of yet, but it's going to look like a 2 to 4 week injury, in my opinion, the way his ankle just like snapped in two there. It was a little ridiculous. He's been some crazy injuries.
Yeah, some crazy injuries. And not only was CeeDee Lamb hurt in the AFC East, Miami Dolphins, Darren Waller, tight end, out with a hip. McDaniel said he expects Waller to make his season debut in week 4 against the Jets, but it says that his hip is still bothering him. So it's yet to be seen if he's going to play. Justin Fields still out with a concussion for the Jets. It doesn't really matter. The whole team is a fucking concussion.
It's in jeopardy that he's going to play this week too?
Yes.
Wow. That's big, man. He must have really got knocked out pretty good. If you're going to miss 2 games.
He got knocked out.
Yeah, he did.
So Isaiah Likely is out for the Ravens, tight end foot. He missed the first 3 games of the season. He tends to a foot injury, so his status for week 4 remains uncertain. Mark Andrews is healthy, so that's all that matters. Joe Burrow is out for probably till December is what they said. Mm-hmm. Then we got Noah Fant, tight
Good
end.
Tight end, yeah.
Yeah. And then Samaje Perine, he's out with a thumb injury. Just duct tape that shit and get out there. The Steelers and Browns escaped with no big injuries. Joe Mixon, big one for the Houston Texans, so Nick Chubb will get most of the work there. Cade Stover, tight end foot for the Texans. He's on injured reserve. Indianapolis Colts, Alec Pierce, I don't even know who he is. Jaguars didn't get any injuries. Tennessee Titans, Tyjae Spears, running back. I don't even know who he is.
That could be big for them. Yeah, they've been missing something.
Well, Pollard's his backup, or his tandem partner there. Evan Engram, tight end for the Broncos. He's his status is being monitored, so I can't just get an answer. Xavier Worthy's still out. Of course, he's on my fantasy football team, so I haven't been able to really get any production out of him yet. Michael Mayer for the Vegas Raiders is out with a concussion. Achilles, Najee Harris, that's a big one right there. That's a big loss for them because they really had some high hopes for him coming into the Chargers, along with Justin Fields and the weapons he has. And that's just Najee Harris still has juice in him, but now does he? I don't know.
Speaking about fantasy teams with Najee injury, that running back Hampton, going to be coming up big now. They drafted him. He's a good-looking rookie, so look out for him. You'll see last week, I think he put up a good 20 points or so. He scored. He's pretty good.
Okay.
Coach said it's his Kamara.
It's his Kamara, huh?
Yep, remember? He made Kamara. First 4 games of Kamara's career, he didn't do very well after that. He lit it up, and here we go with
lit it up. So moving over to the NFC, we got the CeeDee Lamb injury that we already talked about, high ankle sprain. In the team's week 3 blowout loss to the Bears. What an embarrassment they had that. Well, we'll talk about that game in a minute. New York Giants, Tyrone Tracy. Giants don't really matter. They're irrelevant along with the Jets. Philadelphia Eagles, Will Shipley, running back. Oblique. Commanders, Jaden Daniels is still. Austin Eckler.
Yeah, he's out.
Austin Eckler is out for I would imagine he might actually retire after this year, to be honest. Then NFC North, we got Colston Loveland, tight end hip. He's out. Detroit Lions have no injuries. Packers, Jaden Reed, wide receiver, collarbone, foot. Tucker Kraft, tight end. And then the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, they say his ankle's still hurt. I don't really believe that. Aaron Jones is also out for the Vikings. Going over to the South in the NFC, Falcons, Panthers have Xavier Legette, wide receiver, hamstring. Jatavian Sanders, wow, I butchered his name. He's out. And then the biggie that we were talking about earlier, Nick Bosa and Mike Evans out for Niners and help me out here.
The Bucks.
Oh, geez, I brain farted. Then we were also talking about that other injury that was a big deal. Who was that? It was
San
Nick
Francisco's in a lot of trouble here. If Purdy can't go in, the backup, Matt Jones.
Yeah, if Mac Jones can't play because Mac Jones is on the injury report and it's day to day, if Mac Jones doesn't play and Brock Purdy's not ready to go, it's going to be third string quarterback Adrian Martinez. I didn't even know this guy existed. So we'll see what happens there. So those San Francisco fans or whoever has Brock Purdy or Mac Jones or both, they're going to have a week of not knowing until the games start. Arizona Cardinals, James Conner's out again. He's always out. Zay Jones, who cares? George Kittle's still out with the Niners. Juwan Jennings is out. Mac Jones says it's a PCL injury, whatever. He Jones is likely to miss multiple weeks after aggravating it. So Purdy's hopeful return, we'll see. My friends Seahawks, Zach Cabernet, running back Charbonnet. Sorry, Dames. Charbonnet missed the team's week 3 win over the Saints, but was listed as full participant, so we might see him on Thursday night. And then Kenneth Walker III is backing up. And then we have Elijah Araro, tight end. And then that's it for injury reports this week. Nothing really spectacular there. So any other news, Tio, that you had picked up on this week along the lines? What do you think of the Dolphins still hanging on to Mike McDaniels? What do you think of that?
I don't know. I'm shocked.
Why are they doing that?
Because I don't know. They're just terrible. They're terrible. They're weak. They're just like I don't know. I don't want to say anything too bad because we were freaking terrible for many years. But it just kind of brings me back to those years where they're just a weak team. They're not going to beat you in the trenches. They're not going to do what it takes. They don't, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to trick play you all the time with their gadget plays. The guy's drawing up stuff. He doesn't even know what's going on. It doesn't work.
McNerd.
Well, it works for a while. Then the league figures it out, and then they figure you out. That's why you have to be able to adjust. And speaking of adjusting, that's why Baltimore always loses games. Coach is the worst. Harbaugh sucks. Halftime adjustments. He is the worst coach there is.
I just think Lamar Jackson has a problem with having mistakes happen, and then he takes it over into his mind and starts throwing his helmet and throwing temper tantrums. He's not a leader. Josh Allen goes up and tries to get his guys motivated, get them back into the game, be positive reinforcement. Lamar Jackson throws hissy fits. He doesn't go and try. He's not going to ever win a Super Bowl that way. Yeah, he won a couple MVPs because he could dance around like a ballerina and throw the ball good. But so can a lot of guys in the NFL. That doesn't mean they're MVP material. He's not going to win a Super Bowl, not in Baltimore. Derrick Henry can't protect the ball. They're fumbling right now. They're putting up tons of points, but they're not. They're 1-2. I mean, you are what your record says you are as far as Bill Parcells is concerned. Hall of Fame coach. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but personally for me,
my thoughts are I'm not afraid of Baltimore in a close game, I know they're gonna screw it up somehow. They always have. Costly fumble here or there. They blow it up. It just blows up. And it happens every time, time and again, time and again. So I'm really feeling good about this. I'm not sure who I'd want to win that game, the Baltimore KC game this week, because that's a big deal. But I don't know. I same reason why I think Kansas City is going to win that game is because Kansas City can close out games, and they've been there before. And Baltimore, for some freaking reason, knows how to lose them. And I just think this is This is another game Kansas City gets. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we'll go into our picks a little later, but here we are in the second quarter. Tio and I are going to talk about the games that we thought were really good last week in week 3. Upsets, humiliations, whatever you want to call it. The first one I have circled, sorry, Gobo. The first one I have circled is a Green Bay at Cleveland. Green Bay should have went in there with their backups and won that game. They didn't.
No.
What do you have to say about that?
Cleveland's defense is phenomenal. And Green Bay sometimes doesn't hit. He missed his guy 3 times. The game could have easily gotten out of hand. He overthrew Golden about 3 times. Would have been long touchdowns. This game would have been a different story. Sometimes Green Bay doesn't make those plays. Cleveland has a great defense, but they're not going to be able to score any points and keep up with anybody relevant. So that's just what happens there. Basically. That's my take on it. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so the other one I had that I liked last week was the Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. They went in and they lit it up again. Danny Dimes, your boy Danny Dimes. Do you think that this ends? Do you think he hits the wall? Do you think this is a fluke? Do you think this is really a team that can compete for the Super Bowl? I know people say that on paper they are a Super Bowl team. My other friends who I do another podcast with, it's over at Lock 22 Productions on YouTube. Definitely check them out. I'm over there too. But they're all on Danny Dimes. They think that he has a Super Bowl contending lineup. I'm still on the fence with Danny Dimes. He stumbles when he's he gets the ball, runs the ball, and falls 8 yards before the end zone, and all he had to do was walk in there. I can't see. I think he's had a few lucky weeks. I don't know what your take is on that. Why don't you go ahead and take it away?
My take on Danny Dimes, I agree the roster is pretty good. Receivers, defense is pretty solid. They're going to go as far as Danny Dimes can take them. And as
but you do have Jonathan, I get injured. Taylor, don't forget about him.
Sure, but he's running wild right now, and he's playing great. And he also has almost ran for 2,000 yards before he can get it done. Yeah, is he injury prone? Sure, they all are. I mean, we can't bank on injuries. But Danny Dimes, we've seen it before. He's done this before. He strings together great games. Games you're like, what the hell? Wow, this guy's freaking phenomenal. And then all of a sudden he disappears. He throws 4 picks. And then we're like, what the frick is going on? Put Danny DeVito back in. So we've seen this before.
They traded him.
It doesn't matter. They'll put Richardson in. He'll get in, run a 1-yard touchdown, and hurt something. And they'll be right back to Danny Dimes again. So I think it's too early for him to string together these great games. He should have waited until the playoffs. That's my take.
That's awesome. All right. Next game I picked that I thought was a really fun game to watch last week. It was a divisional battle between the Chargers and the Denver Broncos, Chargers being at home. I picked Denver in this game because I didn't think that Sean Payton would allow his Broncos to lose again. And they do have a pretty good defense. A lot of no-namers that we know. Or that sounded kind of stupid. A lot of no-namers on that defensive field that are unknowns, unproven, but they've put together a couple good seasons of defensive play. Sean Payton is a monster coach. Like I've said a million times, the guy's just a beast. He wants you to duct tape it, take the pill, take the needle, get the fuck back out there and play. They are lights out. I can't, I was kind of shocked because I'm still not a full fan of the Chargers yet. I don't think they're ready. I know Herbert's been putting up some numbers. He's been playing Josh Allen football. He's been showing what they thought he should be from the start, but I'm still not sold on a Justin Herbert. What do you think about a Justin Herbert?
I love Herbert.
Why?
Great arm, finesse, solid quarterback. One of the better pure passers that we have in the league right now, in my opinion. I'd put him top 5.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Can throw the ball. Threw the ball in college. Wonderful. I don't know what their problem is. They know how to lose games in the trenches. Not in the trenches, but they just have games taken from them. It seems all the time. They something happens, they lose. Kansas City will kick a field goal to beat them. They'll fumble when they're going to close the game out. Something will happen to San Diego or to the Chargers where they're just sorry about that, San Diego. I know you lost your team, but the Chargers, something just always happens to them. I like them. I think Najee getting hurt is probably one of the better things that could happen for him because this rookie running back is pretty darn good.
Well, next up, right? And so the next game that I liked, and this one, sorry, Dallas fans, Jerry Jones land, Jerry Jonesville, Jerry Jones world. Step back. The Chicago Bears last you. You looked like the Dolphins. There was nothing going on there. The Bears were 0-2 going into week 3. Ben Johnson taking over a shithole franchise, not looking very promising week 1, week 2, and then playing against Dallas at home, just hosed them. What happened there?
Chicago's a good team. No one wants to hear it. No one wants to believe it. The quarterback's good. Caleb Williams is a good quarterback. They're being coached correctly. They had an okay running game. They're not trying to throw out Roshan. I mean, they did pretty well last year as well. Swifty played pretty well. Not that Swifty, but Devon. Sorry, Swifty fans. But there's. It's your live audience. Yeah, just freaking weird. Who's gonna cheer now?
We got 3 people.
Sounded more like 17.
Yeah, 17 Jeez. In our studio audience here, split between the Adirondack Mountains and Amherst, New York. So
what did you ask me? You asked me something, and I was in the midst of saying it. What game were we just talking about?
Dallas and Chicago.
Oh, let me tell you something real quick about Dallas.
Let me tell you something about something. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something about Dallas. This is a deep dive for all you fantasy players. I feel this guy's going to be really good in the CD Lamb absence, and I'm not talking Jalen Tolbert. Pickens is going to be their number 1, but is he? We all know he's not good enough in number 1 coverage to beat it, so he's going to be covered. You're looking at this guy Turpin. I think is going to be coming up big if Dallas is even going to have a chance because this guy's going to have to run kicks back, going to have to make big plays in the receiving game, and that's their big play threat right now is this Turpin dude. I'm feeling it. I'm calling it. I'm going out on a limb. That's my long shot of the week this week.
Did you say Turpin?
Turpin. No, not Turpin.
I know who Turpin is. Yep. He's actually good. He's made some plays for him.
He has. He has a playmaker.
I can't deny that.
And all the channels are going to say, pick up Tolbert, pick up Tolbert. Don't pick up Tolbert.
No.
Don't even bother. All right, go ahead.
Okay, next game. I picked the Giants as an upset. That was a game I picked as my orange caution game. I had a feeling that the Giants might be able to pull that one off at home. Russell Wilson, I like Russell Wilson. I've been a Russell Wilson fan for a long time. I just think after his showing here in New York, when he's throwing the football down the entrance tunnel to the field, it's time. I think your days are up. Take the back seat. Let the young kid get in. The Giants are not going anywhere anytime soon. Brian Dable is going to be fired anyways this year. Let the young kid get in there and get some reps and take the team over, and maybe going into the offseason, into training camp or the OTEs and training camp, he gets to take over his team because he is the future. They drafted him for that reason.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you think he's going to lose his job. I think Jackson Dart saves his job.
How do you say that?
Because if he remotely plays well,
and
resembles anything like a good quarterback, they draft him. He's going to buy himself another year. See if they can put this shit together. because they do have good receivers. Wandell Robinson playing out of his mind the last couple of years, under the radar as well. Over 100 catches last year. He's well on his way to another 100 this year. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. They got Scattaboo looking like. I mean, every time that guy touches the ball, I get goosebumps over here. I don't
Ooh.
even like the Giants. That guy's like a gosh dang bowling ball. He's hitting
Yeah,
everything, bouncing off everything. It's like freaking what they have, that juggernaut. It was like Juggernaut carrying the ball.
yeah, but
For him.
people like that play that wild, they don't tend to last long in the league because they do get themselves injured. They play
Yep.
full blast, and
Yeah, but he's 5'6", 200 pounds. You can't hit him. You hit nothing.
well, he's hitting people, and he's going to get CTE no matter what. Especially if you watch the movie Concussion. Last but not least, our Monday night game. Detroit, who visited Baltimore. I picked Baltimore in that one, and Baltimore shit the sheets again.
Mhm.
Derrick Henry can't protect the ball. Lamar Jackson has a breakdown. Coaching is horrible, and Detroit left Baltimore with a win, and they're now 2-1, and Baltimore is now 1-2. Good for the Bills that they're losing, but what's going on with the Ravens?
What's going on in that game? I'll tell you. Do you know who
Tell you
won that
what,
game? You know who won that game?
the referees.
The Buffalo Bills won that game. You want to know why? Because Detroit used everything that the Bills did against the Ravens. They ran that ball right down them. We ran 3 tight ends against the Ravens. We ran the ball so good. We've been running the ball like crazy. They did the same thing, same game plan. No answer. The coach on Baltimore cannot make adjustments. He doesn't make good adjustments in the second half of games, and they lose. They got shellacked. Henry just fumbling everywhere. They didn't get shellacked, but you know what I'm saying. Henry fumbled.
Crucial fumbles.
I'd buy low on him right now in fantasy, though.
Crucial fumbles. So now we're into the third quarter of the show. We like to keep our shows short and sweet, about 40, 45 minutes long. So here's where Tio and I like to pick out a few games that we like in the upcoming week, being week 4, that, excuse me, that we're keeping our eyes on for potential upsets or potential blowouts, whatever you want to call it. We're going to start off with, I'm interested to see if Aaron Rodgers at home visiting Minnesota Vikings, can Carson Wentz as the backup of the Vikings, can he go into Steeler country?
No, that game's like being played in like Berlin at like 9 a.m.
Oh, they're in Dublin. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. So do you think that Minnesota can carry over that weight with Carson Wentz to Dublin to beat the Steelers, who would be the home team there? I picked the Steelers in that one.
Jeez. Steelers, and they're playing Minnesota, backup quarterback. Give me Raj. Give me Raj with like a freaking 15-9 game with nothing but field goals for these Dublins.
Yeah,
Metcalf scores.
For me, Carson Wentz had what most people would call a rebirth. Maybe that next chance to be on a team that's got weapons. Your Hutchinson, your Justin Jefferson, your overall quarterback coaching and players that want to play for you. Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, he's familiar with going overseas and traveling. He's seasoned. He's been around a lot longer than Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is one of those guys. He's hot. He's cold. He's hot. He's cold. Is he better than J.J. McCarthy? Of course he is. He just put up 40-something points. I mean, the guy scored how many touchdowns? Carson Wentz looked like the Carson Wentz that was in the Eagles when they made their Super Bowl run, but he got hurt, and Nick Foles, took over there. So that game I'm interested to see. I did pick Pittsburgh to win that one. What do you like in that one? You like the Raj? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so I'm going to mark that down. We're going to start keeping track. I was 11-5 last week on here. I was not very good on the other one. On the other show I picked a couple different teams for there. The next one, obviously, we're going to talk about New Orleans at Buffalo. We got Spencer Rattler coming into Buffalo. Buffalo is 3-0, coming off a huge Thursday night win against Miami to really seal the division at this point. We got the Bills at 3-0. We got the Patriots at 1-2, and we got the Jets and the Dolphins all 0-3. I think the Bills continue on. I picked them this week. New Orleans, the New Orleans Aints. They ain't anything anymore. They're not. They have horrible coaching. Kellen Moore, like what? I mean, go back to Dallas and try to be an offensive coordinator over there. They could use your help. But he's not a coach. He's not a head coach. He never has been. He never will be. What's your take on that one? I'm sure you're going to pick the Bills as well.
Can we say there's going to be a Ray Davis sighting in this game? I think, well, if the Bills win this, they'll be 4-0, which hasn't happened since 2020. They're currently averaging 420 yards per game for all you green lovers out there. 420 yards per game. They have no turnovers so far. And they use 3 tight ends and run the ball effectively than any other team in the league currently. I think this game gets out of hand pretty quickly. I would say 41-3, 41-6, 41-8, something goofy like that. I think we see a lot of running and another game, hopefully, where we can get out of this with no injuries and a hell of a lot of rushing yards.
We do have a question from somebody watching over on YouTube. Dr. Jagus is asking, Bills favored, what's the point spread? I think it's a very high point spread. I want to say the Bills are picked to win by 14 or 16 or something like that. It's like the highest point differential in quite some time with a Bills game, even a home Bills game. You might have more knowledge on that, Tio. I'll let you get to that. So, meanwhile, we're going to move on. The next game that we were talking about prior to getting live here, we wanted to talk about the Jacksonville and San Francisco game. Brock Purdy still out. Mac Jones is hurt. If Brock Purdy can't go, it's Adrian Martinez. George Kittle's still out. Now Nick Bosa's out for an extended period of time. So that team, just like last year and the year before, they're injury prone. The San Francisco 49ers are just kind of crumbling before week 5. I still took the 49ers. They're at home. Jacksonville won last week, but are they going to go into San Francisco, fly across the country, get through the jet lag, and be able to put on a performance like they did last week, week 3, in San Francisco? I say no. What do you say?
This game could be ugly. 15.5, Dr. Jagus.
I was close. I said 16.
Is currently the point spread right now. Man, this game here. The 49ers are just injury ridden, and they always are. The coach, they don't stress. I mean, there's so many things that have come out against this coaching staff over there and why it is that these players always get injured so much over there. I'm not going to get into it. If Brock Purdy doesn't play, if Matt Jones doesn't play, they don't win. Christian McCaffrey can't throw the ball to himself. He's about a rubber band snap away from not playing again. It could all go to shambles. Ricky Pearsall might not play. Jennings might not play. Like, what? I don't know who's playing.
Still take him at home. Him at home. Who do you take?
I'm going to take that long-haired weirdo.
You're going to take Jacksonville.
I am, because I don't think they're as bad as they are, even though they haven't been doing anything on offense.
All right, let's move on. We're running out of time here pretty quickly tonight. I wanted to touch 2 more games. Baltimore visiting Kansas City. Baltimore coming off a very shitty loss to the Lions. They're going to be a little bit hungry. They're 1-2. I see them going into Kansas City. They're 1-2. Kansas City's at home. Chiefs Nation, Arrowhead. I took Kansas City in this game because they're due to have a big win at home. And they're angry. They're thirsty. Kelsey wants to prove himself. Mahomes is just trying to do his thing again. Andy Reid's not going to tolerate losing in the way they've been losing. So I'm going to take Kansas City in this one. What about you, Tio?
Earlier, I agreed, but for some odd reason, I think Baltimore wins this one. I think that Baltimore is reeling, and the best thing for them right now is to not be at home, not be in front of their crowd, relax, play the game of football, come out of this game somehow with a win, make everything I say earlier make no sense, and they come out of this one with some kind of a field goal win. I don't know. For some reason, I'm feeling that.
I can see that. And then last but not least, before we move on to the 4th quarter here, Green Bay visiting Dallas. Gobo. I picked Green Bay over Dallas going into Dallas. I think Dallas is a shit show. They got the injuries with CeeDee Lamb. Jerry Jones just has cursed that team throughout the years. I don't think they're just capable of winning. I don't care how much talent you put around Dak Prescott. He can throw 500 yards a game, and they still find ways to lose. I took Green Bay, Micah Parsons homecoming. Jerry Jones has nothing planned for him, so he's getting in Micah Parsons' head, and Micah Parsons is pissed. I think Micah Parsons has a couple sacks, maybe a forced fumble, maybe even a fumble recovery, and I think Green Bay comes out and plays for their new teammate. What do you think?
I agree. I think Dallas is in a load of trouble here, especially if they get into passing down situations. If Green Bay can jump to an early lead here, watch out.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
think that game's on TV too, which should be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch Micah Parsons come back.
And then we got the Jets at Miami, Cincinnati at Denver for the 2 Monday night games, one at 7:15, one at 8:15. 3 of the 4 teams really I could care less about. So moving on to the fourth quarter. This is where Tio and I get together and we pick the rest of the week 4 games coming up that we didn't just pick in the third quarter. And we're just going to kind of cruise through these rather quickly. If you have any cliff notes on them, Tio, let me know. If you want to talk about it for a minute, let me know. If I want to do the same thing, likewise. So we got Seattle visiting Arizona. Seattle coming off a huge win where they put up, I think, 40 points or something. They're going into Arizona. Dames, don't hate me if you're listening over at Lock 22 Productions. I apologize, but I am going to take Arizona at home. They, with James Conner out or not, I think Kyler Murray's starting to run around a little bit. I'm going to take Arizona at home against Seattle. What do you take, Tio?
Seattle. JSN, another big game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got Washington at Atlanta. No Jaden Daniels. Atlanta just came off a 0 burger. They didn't even put up a field goal, and they're going to Atlanta. Washington with Marcus Mariota, they had a field day. I like Washington to go in and win it in Atlanta. What do you like? Same thing? You're thinking about
give me Atlanta.
You actually have to think about that?
Give me Atlanta with the bounce back.
Okay.
If you said Daniels is out,
yes.
Give me Atlanta.
Okay. He's day-to-day, but he'll be out. If Marcus came off a good game, they're not going to risk injuring him further. But that's my take on it. I'm Frankie. I have a lot of takes that are wrong. Moving along, Cleveland at Detroit. Do we have to talk about that one? Detroit. You sure?
Gibbs and Monty all day. They're the Buffalo, minus a really good quarterback.
Okay, Then moving on, Tennessee at Houston. What a boring game. I'm taking Houston only because they're at home and Tennessee's just dog shit. I hope you think the same thing.
I mean, I don't even know who's running the ball for Houston.
Nick
Chubb averages about 0.2 yards a carry.
Nick Chubb carried me through this last fantasy football.
He carried the ball last week 23 times for like 50 yards and a touchdown.
Doesn't matter.
He might not play.
He helped me win my fantasy team.
Well, good for him, but he might not even get a carry this week. I think you're going to go with that other dude.
All right, whatever. So you're taking Houston.
His days are done.
Are you taking Houston or Tennessee?
Houston.
Why'd you say all that then? Okay, Carolina, the 1 and 2 Carolina Panthers going into New England. Who? Panthers?
1 and 2 or 0 and 3?
No, they're 1 and 2. They won last week.
Yep, good.
Good. You didn't even know that. Carolina. Come on, man. Carolina beat Atlanta. They put a 0 burger on Atlanta. So, okay, I lost my spot here. But anyways, Carolina going to New England. I take New England at home. Mike Vrabel's 1 and 2. He's angry. He's bitter. He's being pissed off towards the media. I like the Patriots at home to end up 2 and 2.
This is such a weird week. Give me New England.
Okay. Then we got the Chargers at the Giants. Now, this is my game of the week. Can the Giants upset the Chargers? I thought they would upset the Kansas City Chiefs, their division rival. Do you think they can upset the Chargers right now? I say the Chargers are going to win. I want to take the Giants, but I'm taking the Chargers. Same thing?
Chargers.
Okay. Then we got Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. Godwin's out. Mike Evans is out. They only got the one receiver that rely on, and Baker Mayfield is balling out. I picked Philadelphia to go into Tampa Bay and win.
I'm going to go Philly too. I think Baker's hurt. He's got tricep injury. Both receivers are beat up. And Jigba playing out of his mind. Well, I'm going to take Philly.
Okay, then we move on to the Colts visiting the Rams. Colts 3-0, Rams 2-1.
I got the Rams. Yeah.
I like the Rams at home over the Colts. I think Danny Dimes little 3-0 and everybody thinks their Super Bowl material story ends this week, perhaps for a week only, but I like the Rams at home.
Rams at home. This is it for the dime boy.
Okay. Now Jacksonville coming off, we already did that one. Now Chicago goes into Vegas. Ben Johnson, Pete Carroll. The Raiders have been doo-doo, let's say, pretty much all year. Chicago hasn't been much better. This game should be an early slot game, but it's a 4:25 p.m. game. I'm going to take the Bears only because they came off a huge win against Dallas and they're riding the Ben Johnson high wave right now. So I like Chicago in this game. Plus Vegas, Geno Smith has just not been the Geno Smith of last year when he was with Seattle. So I'm going to definitely take Chicago comfortably here. It's probably going to be one of those drag out, boring ass games. And before we move on to the next game, anybody out there listening live, feel free to drop a comment in the comment box wherever you may be watching. That could be on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, and let us know what you think. Let us know if our picks are wrong and what your picks are. And if you have any questions as we go along here, we got about maybe 10 minutes left or 10 minutes left of the show. So if you have any questions or anything, definitely message in, drop a comment. And if you have any questions about the show, definitely shoot us an email. It's up there on the screen, or any ideas you may have that might help our show get better. So we're only in week 3, so we're always looking for some help and getting better. So I just wanted to add that in there. So we're going to pick these games even though we really don't want to. We got the Jets at Miami. Miami's a train wreck. The Jets are a train wreck. Aaron Glenn, the coach of the Jets, running down the field like he's still playing, and they're losing.
It was fast.
And he's wearing capri pants.
I wouldn't tell him that to his face.
I will.
Guy would jack you up.
Buddy, you're losing and you're celebrating. You have a problem. You're a defensive coach. You should have never went to the Jets. They need offensive help right now. Their defense really has been decent the last 5 years, and you bring in another defensive-minded coach like a Robert Saleh, an Albrecht, and then you bring in him. They need to bring in an offensive coach. Ben Johnson would have been a better fit for the Jets than he is for the Bears, just my opinion. So I picked Miami at home because Miami's got a bitter taste in their mouth. Their coach is coaching for their life. I think a lot of the players like to coach there because they can get away with anything. So they don't want to lose that privilege of being able to live in Miami, do a bunch of cocaine, do what they want, party all night, and come in to practice the next day and play whatever music they want. So I say Miami wins this week just to help their coach stick around a little bit longer because he's an asshole. He's a loser. What do you like in this one, Tio?
I like if we would have won, then we probably would have won. I think
winning the games is to win the game. So you're taking Miami?
I am actually. A-Chan. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Okay. And then this one I kind of feel bad for. Any Cincinnati fan out there that may be listening, I do genuinely feel bad for I feel bad for any Cincinnati Bengal fan. You have Joe Burrow. The guy can't stay healthy. If it's not his wrist, it's his toe. If it's not his toe, it's his thigh. If it's not hemorrhoids, it's having to rewipe his ass after taking a mushy poo 30 times during a game. The guy cannot stay on the field no matter what. He was to one Super Bowl already, and he sucked. So to me, I took Denver at home with the visiting Bengals coming in. I don't know what else other ways to put it. I'm just taking the home team on this one. What do you think, Tio?
First off, I'd just like to set the record straight. It was Lamar that crapped his pants on the field, not Joe Burrow. Not Joey Burrow.
Did this really happen?
Yeah. Yep.
Really?
During the Bills game, I believe it was.
He took a dump on the field?
He ran off the field. Yeah.
Oh, into the tunnel?
Yep. Missed a couple plays. That's why he laughed last time when he was cramping up. He said, no, I didn't have to go to the bathroom. It was just actually a cramp.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. See, when I say that they know how to lose games, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, weird things happen.
Yeah, Josh Allen would just shit his pants.
And played.
Broken nose.
No one's touching him anyways.
Well, yeah, true. Good point.
So I'm taking what are we on here?
Cincinnati at Denver. This will be our final game of the week.
Denver. Give me Denver. You were talking about Denver's defense now? I think this is the game where Denver's defense shows up. They
And
might not
you
even have to score that many points.
so
I got a question real quick. How many of you think the Bills score over 40 points? Do you think the Bills score over 40 this week? 40's a lot of points.
I think the Bills will be up 28 or 31-3 by halftime. Yes. I think they'll put up probably 50 points this week. Yes.
So definitely with that number, you're looking at a defensive touchdown.
There's going to be a couple turnovers. I think Joey Bosa is going to be part of a turnover. I think there might be a interception, maybe two. Nosy Bosa, we'll call him.
Big nose Bosa. That
Big
guy's
nose Bosa. He's got
don't get no smelling salt near that guy.
Yeah, he'll suck it up. I think if you can keep that man healthy, I do think the Bills are going to be able to put up some points this week. It might be a Josh Allen show. He might get two on the ground. I think James Cook's going to get one or two. I think Matt Prater is going to have a comeback this week. He did miss an extra point this past week. That's going to bother the hell out of him. For me, I just think this is going to be it's going to be a real fun home game for Bills fans to go and just watch a team get shellacked.
Who would you like to see have a good game?
I personally, out of this whole thing, I really want to see Carson Wentz have a good game against Pittsburgh and doubling. I don't particularly like him as a person, but he's been around. He's a journeyman. He's bounced around from team to team. He had a little bit of an attitude problem, but he corrected it when he realized the locker room and a couple different teams didn't like him, so he changed his ways. And I think being with Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback whisperer, he might have learned a few things, and discipline might have been one of them. Be a teammate. Don't be a martyr. Don't be an asshole. So I'm interested to see it. I do root for him. And Carolina, I can't root for. I'm tired of them. And I do want to see Danny Dimes have a good game. I don't want him to win necessarily because that can hurt the Bills' seeding in the playoffs if he does continue on this journey of tossing 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. But I do root for him. And, I mean, if you want my opinion, that's about it. I don't care about the Jets. I don't care about the Giants. I think Brian Dable completely trashed that organization. He went there.
Carson Wentz.
What about him?
How many wins compared to losses do you think he has? If you were to guess.
Probably more. Probably about 50%, maybe.
You think 50-50?
Yeah, close to that, sure.
You're pretty darn good.
Yeah.
It's 50. He has 51 wins and 47 losses.
Wow. See? I do pay attention.
I would have said probably the same. But you look at those years where they're like the Eagles might have won 13 some games there, but he was also on the lonely Colts for a while, losing games everywhere. So, yeah, wow,
That's pretty close. But we're just about out of time here. Any final words, T.O., before we split for the week and get ready for Week 4 action?
Yeah, everybody enjoy the game. You know who I'm looking forward to seeing is Curtis Samuel. Where's he been?
He's always a healthy scratch lately.
Yeah.
I think they might be saving him for different packages perhaps, or if maybe there's an injury they can slip him in, or maybe they bring him in.
Maybe you don't change what's right, you get him absolutely healthy, and then if something happens, he slides right in. Could be. Yeah. Okay. I'm just wondering because he was supposed to be a big integral part to us last year. He kind of faded away. You haven't heard much about him. I know he was a little injured, but he has been a healthy scratch.
I think they're just kind of putting him on reserve right now because remember, we got those 2 defensive linemen that are serving out their 6-week suspensions. So they're going to have a healthy group of guys that might be able to fill in. And by that time, there might be a receiver injury where they can plug him in. He's definitely still practicing with them. He knows the scheme. He knows the playbook. He knows Josh. Don't count him out. We haven't seen much of him this year, and I think that's by design. That's my final word on it. If any of you out there have any input on what we just talked about, or again, any questions about the show, feel free to reach out. Go to info@rawlive.com. I'll put it up on the screen one more time. And we appreciate you all being here. And we'll be back here again next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Todd, hit the music.
Looking forward to seeing everybody. We'll talk to you soon.